Welcome to Gapology Radio with your hosts, Mark Tinas and Brian Brockhoff. This is your podcast covering tactics for creating winning leadership and sustainable winning organizations. Discover more information detailed in their books, Gapology, IMBAR, and their newest release, Speed of Purpose. We can be reached at gapology.org, and our books can be found at amazon.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to Gapology Radio. Remember that in addition to our book Gapology, we have other books as well. We have our second book, IMBAR, which is all about defining a clear identity and mindset in order to produce the right behaviors, actions, and ultimately deliver the results that you're looking for. Plus, our third book, Speed of Purpose, is all about defining a clear and compelling purpose, and then wrapping that purpose around all elements of your business. All of these are available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and really any of your online booksellers. And speaking of purpose, today we're going to discuss some tactics and the importance of purpose in a Zoom world. So let's get this ball rolling and give Mark Tinas a call.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you at?
Traveling in California.
Yeah, you're in the car?
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't crash. Keep your hands on the wheel.
I'll try.
That's good. Hey, I'm excited about topic today, purpose. We're going to talk about in the Zoom world. I think that's pretty exciting. I know we've talked about it in a couple of the other podcasts, but focusing on it with a dedicated podcast, I think will be good.
Yeah, it's needed more than ever, and I don't think you can talk about it enough. It's something we need to reiterate. And with so many people working remotely and leaders managing people from a distance and often over Zoom or over the phone, it's a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, Zoom's is a powerful ally a lot of times when we're kind of forced to be working remotely. But I think people can get lost sometimes, either by accident or on purpose. They kind of hide a little bit, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I hear leaders say that some of their team is more productive than ever remotely. And I hear other leaders say the opposite, depending on the individual. So purpose sort of levels the playing field and changes the game and brings those that may want to get lost on purpose into the fold.
Right.
Let me jump in here. So I think the biggest thing we've learned about purpose is it truly unifies the team, and it unifies people from a distance. It has a strange impact on people's behaviors if the leader presents it in a compelling case and ties it then to the metrics and behaviors that are equal to the purpose. It can really change the equation. The other reason we want to bring it up more often is most organizations and most teams truly do not have a purpose. So they're missing this altogether, and it really can change things. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the millennial and Gen Z crowd, really becoming a bigger and more powerful force in organizations, I think it's more important than ever to really look at this, because purpose is really something that they are really tied to, that they really believe in, and it's a game changer for hiring purposes, I think.
Yeah, it creates a common bond also between people that are at a distance. So even within the team, it can create a bond that wouldn't have been there otherwise. You become an ally when you are united behind a purpose. The other thing with the younger generations that you've mentioned, it creates an emotional connection. And often people don't have an emotional connection to their work today. But when you have an emotional connection, again, it's a game changer, and it creates a longevity that wouldn't be there, a work ethic that wouldn't be there, a strive for excellence that may not be there. We've seen so many great things come from it in the organizations that leverage it, often moving those organizations to the top of their industry. So I think it's really underestimated within leadership or they believe that the mission statement they have is fine and that that'll work. There's a big difference between a purpose and a mission statement. So everyone needs to step back and ask, okay, do I have a mission or do I have a purpose? And is the purpose clear and compelling? Because when it's clear and compelling, the team truly connects with it.
Yeah, absolutely. The purpose, I think it can be tied into a mission, but it's totally different. It is that emotional connection that you mentioned. I think, especially today with, everything that's going on with COVID and everything else, just with the political climate and just all the different things that are going on in the world, having a purpose that is really something that drives people, that everyone can really connect with and be on the same page with, that brings people together. I don't care if you're working side by side with somebody or if you're working remotely. I think it can really bring the people together and really unify them.
Yeah, it's interesting. So we've done work with a number of different organizations to help them develop a purpose, regardless of the industry they're in, the business they're in. And it's really there if you look for it. Sometimes you have to look hard, but it can absolutely be there. We know of a roofing company, for example, that has a purpose of building relationships. Well, that may sound crazy for a roofing company, but a roofing company needs relationships both with their vendors and with their residents, the homeowners, who then tell other homeowners about them. So building relationships becomes the precursor to building the roof, and it really becomes their purpose. So by focusing on building relationships, they're very successful at roof building. So it's not as obvious to, at a given glance as to what the purpose is, but it is totally a game changer. And again, people today that work for organizations desire more than a paycheck. If it's just a paycheck, they'll leave to go to the next job for another $1 an hour, whatever it is. But if there's a purpose there, it creates a loyalty that wouldn't be there otherwise.
Yeah, I love that. It really gives a common vision about what's important, right? It gives something to work toward. And taking that, building relationships, and taking that and wrapping that purpose into everything that you do, from interviewing to hiring to coaching and counseling people to building a marketing strategy to IT, all the different elements of your business, wrapping that around all those different elements, that gives you a whole different level of power when it comes to tying people to the organization.
Yeah, and it becomes very real when you tie it directly to the behaviors that you expect, the behaviors that equal that purpose, and then the metrics that reflect those behaviors. Once that's all in place, again, it's easy to lead people from a distance because you always know if the purpose is there or not. Because again, you've defined it in the context of behaviors and in the context of metrics. And once that all comes together, it really works. And you're able, again, to look at reporting and to have conversations and know whether the purpose is in place. In the book Brian and I wrote called Speed of Purpose, we talked about and taught specifically how to wrap people in purpose, how to wrap performance in purpose, and then how to wrap all of the processes in purpose. And once all of those things are wrapped in the same purpose, it all comes together. So whether you're on the team or whether you're a customer, you feel the purpose, and everything revolves around that purpose and is literally wrapped in it. And that becomes key.
Yeah, it drives, I think, loyalty. It drives engagement. And engagement is kind of a buzzword right now, I think, in the industry. But it really does. And engagement is tough in a normal situation. But leading teams in a remote workforce through Zoom or whatever, it adds a whole different level of complexity where purpose, if you have a strong purpose that people can really identify with and are connected to, it really takes down all those barriers and brings people together to work really toward one ultimate goal.
Yeah, the other thing I heard a leader say the other day is the purpose is the why.
Yeah, love that.
And the why seems to always be missing in teams that are underperforming. So you give them this big why, and you reinforce the why every day. And you reinforce the why with every action and with every interaction, and it really becomes who you are. So the purpose gives you the why. And whether you're one-on-one together or whether you're at a distance, it closes the gap. It's like you're right there. It's like you're together. It's like an old friend who you haven't talked to in a long time and you instantly catch up. When you share that common bond of purpose, it's a game changer.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and it fits right in with Gapology when we're looking at closing gaps and we look at closing the knowledge gap, the importance gap, and the action gap. Purpose really does drive that importance gap. It really closes that. And then when you look at IMBAR, our other book, it really drives identity and mindset. So if you can take purpose and wrap it around the different elements of your organization, it's going to close gaps faster, it's going to prevent gaps from happening, and it's going to help deliver the right identity and mindset that's going to deliver your ultimate results that you're looking for.
I couldn't have said it better.
Yes, you could have.
Well done, Brian.
Thanks.
That's all I've got for today.
Okay, very good. This is a little bit shorter one, but I think this one is a very important one for people to really listen to, recommend to their friends. It'd be great. But listen to it over and over again, because a lot of times we do forget about purpose. We just kind of are going after the operations, the tactics of the business, and a lot of times we just forget why we're doing it. So definitely recommend to do that.
Yeah, I think we take it for granted that the team knows. And this reinforcement, every action, every interaction really, really changes everything.
Yep.
Tie it back to purpose. So,
yeah.
Well, thanks, Brian.
Okay, thanks, Mark. We'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, that'll do it from here. For more information on Speed of Purpose or any of our other books, check out our website, gapology.org. That's where you'll also find out more information on our online video training and virtual or live workshops. Everybody have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon.
This has been a Gapology production. Visit us at gapology.org.